Right, so here we are. You can see I've moved all the anaerobic digested compost, and let's have a look at where it is. So I've got it covering an awful lot of the ground. You can see the hyacinths, beautiful. That daylily that Ennis gave me, growing well. The amazing wallflowers, and there's some Rebecca coming up, self-seeded. Various other plants here, and got the anaerobic digested compost over some of it. Let's just have a quick look over here. Well, I haven't got any because I'm thinking of keeping this as quite poor soil so I can grow things that like it. Here's the dropwort, which is doing very nicely. And coming back over here, I've been weeding along here, but I'm going to have to dig out all that goldenrod. It's just horrendous. It's going everywhere. So that'll be an interesting job. Okay, going back. So I've got this space here, and I'm thinking it's either going to be brassicas or potatoes. I've still got the leeks to eat. Got the broad beans, which I've moved to be a bit, well, I've filled in the gaps really of the ones that died. Got the mint that also needs to be corralled, so I need to look up a recipe for mint jelly so as to be able to dig it up and make use of it. Got the meadowsweet that's growing okay, but it doesn't seem to have any seedlings, thank goodness. And I've got the rest of the herby stuff over here. I think the sage needs cutting back a bit. But it's just so magnificent when it's in flower. I feel quite that I don't actually want to cut it. Okay, looking back over here, I've moved some of the compost into heaps, so that I've got it in other parts ready to spread and add. So I've got this spinach beet. I'm not quite sure whether it's actually sort of perennial or whether it's just going to go and flower. I need to check that, because if it's just going to flower, that's one thing. If it's going to stay on, that's another decision. Got the red Russian kale growing, lovely leaves. You can see there's still one cavallonero in there. I've pulled up the others, taken the leaves off, and I'm going to eat them. Got a bit more perpetual spinach in here, and just another view of the site over there. And then looking this way, so as well as the broad beans, these are actually lettuce. They've been sitting outside all winter. They're called something like winter imperial, and they're supposed to be okay in cool weather, so I'm seeing whether they really are. And then I've got some endive that's also been out all winter, so be interesting to see how that does. I'm not quite sure whether I like endive or not. Anyway, the grapes, not dead but not growing, and the stuff about them said that actually that one might be growing a bit. Said not to worry until at least May if you see no signs of life. So might be something happening there actually. So got the raspberry. I haven't actually moved it, but I'll make it keep back from the path so it's not in people's way. I've trimmed the gooseberry to make it keep back a bit, and I've got the blackcurrant and the goji berry standing up to take up less space, and the tayberry is well, I've got it very firmly reined in at the moment. We'll see what happens. And the rhubarb, of course, magnificent. I could pick some of that. I've got more heaps, as you can see, of compost here, ready for putting on things. You may think I've actually got a bit too much, and that may be right. But you know, you get a lorry load and that's it. And then here I've got the chrysanthemums, which I probably ought to move, but I haven't. And then underneath all this lot is where the asparagus is going to come up, I hope. And one thing I'm going to do before I leave today is plant onions and shallots. And I'm going to do them in this space here because I haven't had any alliums in this region. So hopefully they'll be okay against the white rot for a bit. So that's the allotment, folks. Turn around. The half, I've got half a plot, so the area beyond is someone else's. Okay. Cool.